Today I'm going to show you a compilation of 5 recipe videos for side dishes that I took from this channel and that you can use for your holiday dishes or your every night dinners. This is one of my favorite recipes. It's a cheesy cauliflower. Basically, I just cut out the florets from the cauliflower bud, cut them off into bite-sized pieces, and just make sure that you break them all up and give them a nice wash. Then I just season with a little bit of olive oil and some salt and pepper, just enough to coat them and give them a little bit of flavor. You can also add any other flavorings you like. I mix them all up and then get them into a pan, throw some fresh herbs. I'm using some thyme here. You can throw some basil, some parsley, some sage in there. Then I like to coat it with a little bit of ranch powder dressing you can find at any supermarket. Bake it for 350 degrees for about 10-15 minutes until they're nice and toasted. Add some mozzarella cheese or any kind of Parmesan, shredded Parmesan cheese, even cheddar cheese works really well. A little bit of green onion and some panko Italian breadcrumbs is what I'm putting on here just to give it a little bit of a crunch. Tap it all down so everything gets in. And bake it for an additional 5 minutes or until the cheese is melted. Plate it up and enjoy it. The second recipe is the bacon cheddar corn muffin. I just use a boxed corn muffin mix. I just make sure I break up all the bits. Then I add some grated cheese, some bacon, and some milk. Break up 1 egg, put it into the mix. That'll help bind everything in. Just follow the instructions on the box. Just add the ingredients that you like. I'm adding some herbs here. And then I just place it into a muffin tin, and I am using liners here. Just easy enough to get them out, not stick to the pan without using any sprays or anything. I give it a nice tap so that any air bubbles come out. Get ready for the oven. I'm using my Power Air Fryer oven here. I just bake it at 350 degrees for about 12 to 14 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. And also what I like to do is right before serving, maybe microwave it for about 10 or 15 seconds and get them nice and hot, and add some butter to it and a little bit of salt, and you're good to go. This third recipe is the deviled eggs. I like making my hard-boiled eggs in the air fryer. It's really easy to do. Just make sure they're room temperature and set my air fryer to about 275 degrees Fahrenheit for about 18 minutes, just enough to get them fully cooked. And make sure when they come out, you get them into an ice bath. That helps to stop the cooking and gives you a nice, clean, hard-boiled egg. Helps get the peel off real easy too, as you can see here. Cut all the eggs in half and pull all the yolks out, get them all into a bowl where I'm going to be seasoning with Himalayan pink salt, some black pepper, and some chopped herbs. I'm using parsley here and a little bit of basil. I get those all into the bowl, get a little bit of sweet relish mix in there, and some mayonnaise. Also, I put about a teaspoon or so of yellow mustard in there, just enough to give it a little bit of tang. Also brings out a lot of the other flavors. So make sure you get it all mixed in nicely. You want to get it nice and smooth, so you may have to add some more mayonnaise as you go along. I had to add a little bit more here just to get it nice and smooth. So you keep mixing until you get that smooth consistency that you know so well in deviled eggs. And I get all the mixture into a Ziploc bag, or you can use a piping bag, works the same way. I get everything into a corner, and then I just trim off a little bit of the end here so I can use it to pipe into the eggs. This little tip here makes everything a lot easier when you're filling in the egg yolk holes. And it's good for presentation. You can kind of get creative with this. So I just fill in all the hole openings and then just plate them up. A little bit of paprika, a little bit extra salt, and you're good to go. This fourth recipe is actually a new recipe for me. I don't use it often, but once I started using it, it was actually really good. This is the butternut squash recipe. Basically, I just use a really sharp peeler to peel the thick skin off. And then I pull out all the seeds from the center there. You can keep those, dry them out. You can even toast them up like pumpkin seeds. A little bit of salt works. I cube up the strips into maybe 2-inch cubes. Add a little bit of olive oil to the mixture. You might need maybe a 1/4 cup or so olive oil. You're going to add about a teaspoon of salt, some granulated garlic, and then I add a little bit of black pepper too. You can add any seasonings you like. Fresh herbs work really well here. So I'm adding some parsley and basil. Get them into my air fryer oven rack. You You want to make sure you get the butternut squash to a single layer, and I bake it at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes, and I do rotate it about halfway through, so about 15 minutes I flip them over just to make sure I get great coloring all the way around. Then I get the hot butternut squash into a bowl and add some cheeses, some seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper if it needs it. You do want to taste it here. Get it into a nice brownie pan, add some cheese to the top. Continue to bake it for about 8 to 10 more minutes until the cheese melts. Then you plate it up and enjoy it just like mashed potatoes. These things are fantastic. And the last recipe is the roasted potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Again, one of my favorites. You want to render out your bacon first. When you take the bacon out, then use that oil to toast up your Brussels sprouts and your potatoes. You get some salt and pepper on it. So get a little white wine. There's about a half a cup of white wine. All right, I'm going to get some of this roasted garlic base in here. So maybe about that much, maybe a teaspoon of it. All right, get that in there. Like that, and about a teaspoon of the regular roasted chicken. Like that. And get that in there too. All right, so we're just going to stir that in, close that up. Yeah, we're going to let it cook for a minute or two. Get butter in there. We want to get it all flavored. And after they come out of the oven, you can see it's a nice color. You want to make sure that they're fork tenders. You want to make sure to get the fork all the way through. I added some more grated cheese to it, a little bit more olive oil. Nicely, it does freshen it up nicely. Then just plate it up and enjoy it with nice turkey or roasted chicken. Actually goes really well with it. Leave me some likes, some comments. Go ahead and share the video if you enjoyed it. Check out some of the other videos here from our playlist. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.